Hello friends, welcome to FreeCAD tutorial, and in this tutorial we will learn assembly in FreeCAD. We will use A2 plus Workbench in FreeCAD to create assembly. Here I have did an assembly of a syringe pump with the help of A2 plus Workbench, and I will show you from the scratch how you can do the same in FreeCAD. You can also visit my website mechnexus.com, where I write articles and tutorials on FreeCAD. You can also download my tutorial source file from here. You can also support my work by buying my FreeCAD Crash Course for beginner. It is a very basic level course for the beginner user, where a beginner user can master the FreeCAD. And you can also support my work on coffee.com. You can buy me a cup of coffee. You will get my website link and my Ko-fi donation page link in a video description. So I will close this file, and before starting this tutorial, first we have to install the A2 plus Workbench. To install the A2 plus, head over to the tool and then add-on manager, and here in a drop down select the workbenches and type here A2 plus. So you will see here A2 plus, select it and install it. And after installation of A2 plus, restart your FreeCAD. Now I will create a new file, and from here drop down I will switch to the A2 plus. So you can see that tools of A2 plus Workbench has been activated. Now I will save this assembly. I will give it a syringe pump A2 and I will save it. So you can see that name has been updated. Now here we have the options of A2 plus, and from here we will add part to the assembly. So first part we are going to add is a body. So from my folder I will insert the body. So body has been inserted. Now I will insert holder and I will place it. Now we will give constraint between this body and holder. So press the control key, select the bottom face and the top face of the body, and once you select on the two faces, FreeCAD will show you the possible constraint here. Now we will select this add plane coincident constraint. So you can see that constraint has been placed, but I want direction opposite. I will accept it. Now I will rotate my model by pressing roller and right side button of my mouse at the same time. Now I will select this face and this face, and I will place plane coincident constraint and I will accept it. Now it has the 1 degree of freedom. If you click on DOF, degree of freedom, so you can see that our base is fixed, but this object having the 1 degree of freedom in Y direction as per our UCS. Now I will make it a distance constraint from this face. I will select this face and this face and give the coincidence constraint, and here I will give the distance 23 mm and I will give it minus and I will accept it. Now the next part we are going to constrain is a wall. So I will click on add part, and from my folder I will select wall Now I will select this face and top face of my body and place coincidence constraint. Now I rotate my model. I will select this face and again place coincidence constraint. Now it has the 1 degree of freedom in y direction. So it is also a 23 mm. So I will select this face and this face and give the constraint, and I will give it 23 mm minus, and I will accept it. Now our fourth part will be the rod, which will be passed through the hole from this hole to this hole. So we will assemble 4 part 1 2 3 4, which will connect this body and this body. So I will go to the add part and select on rod and insert it. Now I will select this face and inside face, and I click on coincidence constraint, and I will accept it. Now I will select the surface of my rod and surface of the hole, and here FreeCAD is suggesting it is a axis constraint, so I will select it. So you can see that rod has been perfectly placed from this body to this body. Similar way we will assemble other 3 rod. So go to the rod, insert it and do the same process. Click on coincidence constraint, accept, select on the surface, select on the whole surface and give axial constraint. Now again we insert one more rod, insert, I will select the face, I will select the inside face, and face has been selected. Let me select the face again. Coincidence constraint, accept and select surface, select surface and give axial constraint. Now one more rod is remaining, we will assemble it. I will select this face and this face, give coincidence, accept, select surface and select this surface and give axial constraint. So we have assembled all 4 rod. So you can see that it is a very similar to the SolidWorks or Autodesk Inventor. If you have used those software, A2 Plus is very easy to use. Now our next part is a pusher. Next part we are going to assemble this pusher. So I will click on add part and I will select the pusher. Now I will select this whole surface and this rod surface and give the axial constraint, apply and I will select this and this surface, and I will select on angle plane, and from here I will give 0 degree and I will accept it. Now I will click on my pusher and click on the transform and I will move it. Now I will give the distance constraint between these two. Now I will select this face and this face, and I will give the plane coincidence constraint and I will give distance 4.29. I will give it minus and I will accept it. Now we will move to the next step. Next step is we will insert the barrel. So I will go to the add part and select my barrel. I will select the outer face of the barrel and this surface and give axial constraint. Now I will flip my direction and I will accept it. Now I will select this face and this face and make coincidence constraint, accept. Next part which we are going to assemble is a plunger. I will select on add part and select the plunger. Now I will select my plunger, click on the transform tool and I will rotate it as per my orientation and I will accept it. Now I will make the concentric relation with this and inside face, accept it. Now I will give the distance constraint. First I will switch to the isometric and I will give the distance constraint between this face and this face. So I will select this face and this face and I will give the mate, and distance I will give the 15 mm but in minus direction and I will accept it. Now I will switch to the isometric view. So this is how we have made the syringe pump assembly in FreeCAD. Now we will see some tool of E2 plus Workbench. So here we have the first options to add the part. If you click on this, you can browse your folder to assemble the part which we have seen in this tutorial. Now from here you can add a shape from external file, and this is the options to edit the constraint. If you want to edit any constraint, just double click on it, it will be get activated and you can edit your constraint. At the top you are seeing this solver constraint. If you have any conflict with a constraint, then click on this the solver. This solver will solve your constraint. It is like a rebuild tool in a SolidWorks. Now we will see these options known as a show only selected elements. For example, if I select the plunger or my barrel and if I click on this option, so it will isolate this object. If you again click on it, so this is the basically isolate tool of a FreeCAD. Now if you see any constraint, for example this coincidence constraints, if you got any assembly in a FreeCAD from your client, but how would you find out that this constraint given with which faces? So select on a constraint and click on this magnifying glass, so you will find that this constraint is given between this body and this body. if you select on those constraints, it will get unselected. And here is a toggle transparency of the assembly. If you click on this, your assembly will be get transparent and you will be able to see the internal feature of your assembly. And here is a degree of freedom. If you click on it, so you can see that the red one is a fix, but this rod having the 1 degree of freedom, which is a rotational degree of freedom, which is not much more important. So from clicking on the DOF tool, you can find out that which part is movable in which direction and how many degree of freedom it has. So every part having the 3 degree of freedom. Now you can also create a part list in FreeCAD. For this, if you are using A2 plus Workbench, then click on the part list, so it will show you save before generating the part list, save now. So click on S. Yes, so you can see that a part list has been created, and if you double click on it, your BOM will be created here. So here you can modify anything you want as per your BOM requirement, like sizes, material, any special requirement like surface finish, etc. But here you can see that here is the item number and here is a quantity. So body is a one quantity, holder is one quantity, wall is one quantity, but this rod is 4 quantity, which we can see in our assembly, these 4 rods. So a basic BOM has been created. You can copy this BOM into the Excel and uh, create a more simplified BOM. So this is how you can use A2 plus assembly workbench in FreeCAD to create an assembly. So this is all about this tutorial. Thank you for watching and thank you for your valuable time.